Well, I got this little B in here in the old corn crib, and I'm going to split the full engine, well, the engine's going to stay put. I'm going to pull the rear end back, take the flywheel off, and change the oil pump. This thing loses its prime, pretty much overnight. That must have been why I bought it at sale. Yeah, if you prime it and run it, it runs good. If you don't prime it, it rattles something awful. Anyhow, I'm going to try some whatever you call it. I got that aluminum plate down here with a floor jack on it. I got to make something to reach from the jack up to the tractor to support the rear half here. And I got these things. I think they're jacks for taking your camper off your pickup. Got them up there at sale last Saturday. I didn't even bid on them, but I got them bought. But anyhow, I'm gonna take the hood and stuff off. I'm gonna put a bar across one to the other and run a chain down to the top of the engine, raise them up to support the engine and leave it set on its wheels, and then I'll jack that up, move this half back, and I'll get in there and work on it. So that's what I'm intending on doing. I got to make something there and find something there, and then I'll get to it and we'll see what happens. Yeah, I made a little headway. Got a thing fixed there to hold the rear half of the tractor up. That, whatever you call the thing there, that thing there was all shaky and too loose. So I got that round bar there and ground it down to fit pretty tight. And to put that, got that piece of square tube and two to fit around there. Then I'm going to put a strap up over the top a couple of times and pull it up tight. And when I get it unhooked, it ought to just slide right back. It should. But now I've got to get the thing to hold the front half up. Alright, that's what I did so far. Well, looks like it worked. Got the rear half of the tractor sitting there on the jack. And that thing I made, I tied it on so it'd be solid. Got it separated. And got the engine hanging with that beam across there and chained on, and got a couple rocks to block the wheels there. So then I tried to push it by hand and that didn't work, so I got the case 430 and there where you can see it. Put a cable winch there to pull it back. It just slid right back. So that's enough for today. How's this work? There. Tomorrow I'm going to take the flywheel off there and take the oil pump off, put another one on, and check it out, and then I'll probably put it all back together. And I don't know, I might pull the pan and check, make sure see if we can take any shims out of the rod bearings. Other than that, looks like things are going as planned. There's Kitty and Doggy. Well, good morning. Got the clutch and the flywheel off, and Doggy's helping. You never know what you find when you take the tractor apart. Look at here. Where you can see it. Right there underneath that wire. A grain of corn. There it is. I guess the mice didn't eat everything. Alright, I better get to work. Well, I got the oil pump off. Just a matter of 3 bolts. Looks like I might have to make a gasket. And there's the oil pump. Gasket pattern. I suppose I ought to take it apart and see what's the matter with it. Better I go out back and find another. Alright, that's enough for now. Well, there's took apart. Looks like it's got an awful lot of wear right here on the rough and surface. There. I guess that's what caused them to leak off when they get old. I wonder if that comes out. Yeah, just a minute. Yeah, the vanes look pretty decent. They got a little bit of wear. Sure is rough in there. The backside's pretty rough. That must be what's the matter with it. I'll go out and see if I can find a better one. Alright, that's all for now. Well, I got it back together. Changed the oil pump. The only thing you gotta put back together to find out where the oil pump is really going to work the way it's supposed to. Which I assume it will. It was out of a good tractor. Anyhow, this thing worked out pretty good. This thing I had for holding the engine up, I never changed it. It just stayed right there. The old floor jack, I had to let it up and down a couple times. And when I was putting it back together, I put the cable winch from the drawbar up there to the front axle to squeeze it back together. And it went right back in without hardly any trouble at all. Had to get the hand crank and turn it over a couple times to get it to go in. But I'll show you something. I made a couple things for it. Well, I took an old drive shaft, made a thing to line the clutch up. And this little, well, it was an old lug bolt. I cut it off, put a screw notch in it. I screwed that into the flywheel. No, I screwed into the crankshaft as a guide to put the flywheel on, because I only had about 6 inches of space, so I couldn't get direct look at the flywheel to line the bolts up and put it up there with 2 hands. I had to put it up there with 1 hand, so anyhow, that made it a lot easier. And I took these old long bolts here and put them in the bottom hole of the motor and bell housing, so when the tractor slid forwards, it stayed at about the right height, which it was pretty close. I had got it all the way up there and had to wiggle it just a little bit over on the other side there a little bit. Other than that, it guided it right in there. So I'll get things tightened up and get the throttle and choke wire on there and put some gas in it and start it up, and if everything's good, then I'll put the hood on. Alright, that's enough for now. Oh, I got a kitty friend already. Well, just for the fun of it, here's a few things you don't see every day. And probably some of you young fellas might not even know what it is. Like this big long steel handle with a chain on it. I've used that many times years ago. That, never had one. I used that. I've used them. That thing, I'm not sure. I've drank an awful lot of that stuff. And that thing's never been opened yet. Even got a key on the bottom to open the top like a coffee can. Alright. Tell me what its stuff is, if you ever used any of it or got some of your own. That's all for now. Alright. Got it all back together. Now I gotta get me some gas in the battery and see if it done any good. Oh, just for the fun of it, I don't know where you can see, there's something not right on that wheel. What's wrong? And my computer died this morning, so you might never see this video. If I get a new one or get it fixed, like, comment, and subscribe. Now I don't know what I'm going to do with this little bee. I suppose I'll sell it to somebody, because I sure don't need the darn thing for no reason. But it's kind of fun fixing it. Alright, that's all for now. What a mess. I had this carburetor cleaned out a couple years ago, tractor running. Must have drawed a little moisture someplace sitting out there under the tree. I guess that's why you should put your tractors in the barn.